four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neal Ruhl, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, he is Adam Baydoun. That's right, there's a dark cloud here in the studio. DMAC out, Red Wings obligations, as a lot of you saw last night during the broadcast. That party continues. We have Sam Flannel. We have Spencer Raxter. We are locked and loaded and ready to go. Jump into our chat thread, woodwardsports.com chat thread as well. Get your thoughts in there. He's here, everybody. It's Adam.
What's up, Neal?
What's up with you?
Oh, nothing much, man. I haven't done a show with you, so it's going to be fun.
Not since the Lions pregame show days, right?
That doesn't count, right?
That doesn't count.
That's a losing
right.
show, right? Because the team always loses. It's a winning show. So.
No, it is a winning show. You are absolutely right, but looking forward to wrapping with everybody. Got a lot to get to. Obviously, a lot of football. You know how we work on a Friday. Got an NFL nickel package, college nickel package, lots of Lions, Packers. As we touched on yesterday, I will park the tanks in the hangar for this weekend and this weekend only. It's a no-lose situation for me, Adam. We'll discuss that. We will break down and analyze the big Michigan-Rutgers game with Sam Flannel. This is what you're talking about, right, Sam Flannel? With Michigan football, the calendar flips to November. It's the home stretch. Big games. Michigan on the outside looking at the playoff right now, but if you continue to beat teams like Rutgers, the committee cannot ignore you.
Hey, I mean, they're all Big Ten wins. Obviously, we know this is not going to be much of a challenge. Rutgers is terrible, but if you're Michigan, you might, tend to have a little bit of a letdown after Michigan State and Penn State back-to-back, and they just got to avoid that. And I think they will be just fine. All roads lead to Columbus.
What do you have to say, Flannel, to everybody who says Michigan's red zone efficiency needs to get better when they're 13th in all of college football at 93%? Yes, they've kicked 13 field goals, but you know who else has kicked 13 field goals, Flannel? Georgia.
Hey, that is the advantage of having a great kicker like Jake Moody, but also, come on, Michigan's got to score more touchdowns. I would like to see them put teams away a little bit earlier instead of letting them hang around. And one of the reasons is because they don't score touchdowns in the red zone at a good enough clip against Penn State and Michigan State. They didn't do it. They need to clean that up a little bit.
You don't play with your food? You don't believe in playing with your food, Flannel?
No, because I don't want to be nervous at halftime like I always am in these games. They just keep letting these teams hang around. I want to kick back and chill. I want them to get up 21-0 early on a team. Do it against Rutgers. Do it against Nebraska coming up. That's what I want to see out of Michigan.
Fair enough.
Oh, you're on the spotlight today, Sam Flannel. We'll just say it like that. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Again, happy to have everybody with us on there. And it's comments like this, and it's getting to be that time. Like I joke about Rutgers with Sam Flannel, but Rex Smith. Illinois is a good team. If they keep winning, and more importantly, they're in the top 15 of the college football playoff, but you all keep down-talking it. All right, Rex, let me ask you this question. What's your favorite Illinois win this year? And what's your favorite Illinois game? Because I know you guys know what mine is. The 9-6 victory over Iowa. That's my favorite Illinois game. Was it the time they lost to Indiana? Was it the win over Chattanooga? Which one was it for you, Sam Flannel?
You got to play who's in front of your schedule, and obviously that Iowa-Illinois game might have been the single worst football game in the history of the sport, but they have the nation's leading rusher in Chase Brown and the number one scoring defense. I don't care who it's against. That's impressive. And
I think Dan Campbell would have the number one scoring defense if he played against Wyoming, Chattanooga, Iowa. I mean,
a big bad Virginia.
They still got to win those games.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Still got to win those games.
No, but it's getting to that time though. We'll get to those talking points, and we will get to all the college football as well. Our Lions hometown hero will be in studio as well. I know a lot of you like that segment too, so we will be in there. We'll talk to our guy Ryan Poulter. We'll get you the picks too. The Feldman Chevrolet Pigskin Pick'em contest. I have Terry's and D-Mac's picks. We'll put them up on the board there for you. We will discuss. We will banter back and forth about it. Solid win for the Red Wings last night, Adam.
Historic, actually, in theory. Alex Ovechkin tied Gordie Howe.
He did.
For the most goals with a single franchise. I was shocked when they announced it. I was, oh my God, like that's a big deal.
People don't realize Ovechkin's numbers. Go take a look at those.
If you want to talk about GOATs, I know Gretzky is so far and away above everyone else in terms of points, goals, assists, you name it. But Ovi is basically top 5 really across the board in almost every category. He's arguably the second or third greatest hockey player ever, and I don't think anybody talks enough about it.
No, and you're right, and he is, and
I think his level of difficulty was more than any of his predecessors. I think goaltending's better. The speed of the game is more difficult.
Goalie equipment's bigger.
The goalies aren't a butterfly. They're not standing up like jackasses where you score a backhander from the blue line. I mean, come on. I'm just saying.
That was the glory. That was the glory days of hockey. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Mike G. Neal Rutgers is really tough. Maz is from New Jersey, and he's tough. Go blue.
That's true.
Maz, never mind. I can't say that. Continue.
All right, we made it 6 minutes with Adam Baydoun.
There we go.
And actually 5.5 because the intro plays. The intro plays for 30 seconds.
That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. No, I'm happy to have Adam here with me today because a lot of respect for Adam, what he does. We do it differently. We have different styles. I think that's fair to say, but in the end, very talented dude. So I am happy that he's here with us. Klomsaw says Ovi is already the GOAT. Michael Hall says Ovechkin is today's Gretzky. That makes me happy. That makes me happy to hear that it's not lost on people because he is incredible.
He came in the league in 2005. It's 2022. We're going into 23. And he is a machine.
He's the silver fox.
He can't stop scoring.
He is the silver fox.
There is somebody in the league right now that can overtake him and Gretzky. Dude's got 24 points in 12 games. That's Connor McDavid. He stays
97.
healthy.
Connor McJesus around these parts.
Yeah, he stays healthy. He can give you 5, 6, 7, 8 years of 120, 130 points, 60 goals, 60 assists, which he's more than capable of. That's the guy right now that you're looking at for the next 10, 15 years. If he has longevity, he'll break every record.
Absolutely. But a big win for the Red Wings. And look, let's just put it out there right now. Okay? Ville Husso yesterday. The man.
He's standing on his head.
He was incredible yesterday. I think that we need to shelf Nedeljkovic for a little bit, and I don't know what that entails. I don't know if that, do you send him to the mine? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know what the answer is not, and that is Nedeljkovic on the ice. And
haze him, stuff him in a locker.
Stuff him in a locker.
Don't let him out there.
You can take Alex Nedeljkovic and Killian Hayes and just push him somewhere else. Just get him off. Don't want to see him on the court.
But Killian Hayes hasn't played enough, Spencer, and you have to be patient with him because he's so close. Those 2.3 points a game, he's getting close to 3, and once he gets to 3, he's one step closer to 4 whole points a game, Spencer. Be patient,
once
buddy.
He's at 20% from the field, then he'll be able to do something.
Easy, you guys.
No, not at all. He deserves every bit of it. But you see what it does for the team when you have a goaltender in net who is just reliable. He's a sure thing. Look, the Wings didn't dominate the game yesterday. Yeah, they won 3-1, empty netter by Larkin at the end. But that was a close game the whole way, and at times really Washington dominated. But they couldn't get the puck in the net.
And that's it.
And boy, that's a luxury.
Because Husso wouldn't allow it. And it's very simple, guys. You have a chance to win when Husso plays. Conversely, you have a better chance to lose when Nedeljkovic plays. And I know, again, guys, I know it's early, and maybe I'm not being fair, but this is, again, going back to what we talked about, this is what it is if you want to compete. Oh, by the way, if you want to compete in this division. That's what it is, guys. I'm not here for feelings.
You're going to need 100 points just to maybe be a wild card team this year.
You got to rack them up. And Adam, that was my point yesterday. I'm curious to get your take on this. That's why there's urgency for me with the Nedeljkovic thing. Because you can't have a 76-game season when the Florida Panthers have an 82-game season. You can't. You can't have 6 fewer chances to get points and expect to get anywhere. And I know we're still in the feel-good phase of everything, right? I know that. And I see him in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Tammy Chin says it isn't all Ned. The defense doesn't play in front of Ned. But Tammy, he's given away 2 easy ones a game. Can't have it. I know you're at every game, Tammy. No one wants to win more than you do. No one wants the Red Wings to win more than you do. I understand that. But again, maybe I'm getting a little too granular. When you start working backwards from this, you can't put him out there because he doesn't give you a chance to win. I'm sorry, Adam. Like, this is usually your role.
Yeah, let's not sit here and say or act like the two lines you have on defense, the core four, are some league winners, right? Or some of the league's best. They're fairly new. They're getting accustomed to each other. Sider's up and coming. I think he's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. You've added some free agents. It's nice, but you need a goaltender that makes everybody around him better. Jonathan Quick back in the day is a perfect example of this. Vasilevsky more recently. He showed up. Tampa Bay suddenly went from a team that was probably going to get knocked out in the first or second round to a Stanley Cup winning team. You need a guy in net where I can rely on you night in, night out. I can win a game 2-1. I can win a game 3-2, where I don't have to put up 5 or 6 because your dumbass has given up 2 free ones and then the standard 1 or 2 a game that just go in.
And the Buffalo game was a perfect picture of it. They grinded their ass off to get down 4-3 going into the third period. And Nedeljkovic just put gasoline on the fire and just blew it all up. The next thing you know, there's an 8 spot on.
You know what's
on
one
board.
thing I do like about Lalonde so far? He hasn't pulled Nedeljkovic from any start. Good. Keep his trash ass out there. Let him give up the 8 goals because I'm not ruining Husso's vibe, what he's got going, his mojo. I'm not ruining it. So I like that so far. I'm glad when he put up 8, it was only on Nedeljkovic. Good. He deserves it.
Yeah. Hronek seems to be the other one that's catching the fire. And look, guys, you know I've been fair about this because I talked about it. This defensive core. When DMAC asked us in the 5 for fighting, would you move the defensive pairings around and stuff like that? I know they're less than still in terms of a defensive unit as far as the number of players, those types of things. I understand that. This is what we have now. It just feels good. I don't want this. And I don't know. I brought it up in the past about Eddie Murphy and the Deliria stand-up when he talks about if you're starving and someone throws you a cracker, it'll be the greatest cracker you ever ate in your life.
Oh yeah.
You'd be licking your face. Was that a Ritz? No, that was a Townhouse. No, but for me, I like the fact that I'm to the point already with the Red Wings where last night with the World Series on and everything else that was going on, I made it a point to watch that Red Wings game. Because it was another one of those show us games where you had the Capitals coming into town and Ovechkin.
Show us.
Absolutely, Rose. And I had it lined up. It was appointment viewing for me, Adam. I wasn't going to miss that game because there's something on the line. And yes, I know it's 10 games in. I understand that. But we ain't had a whole lot of that around here. So it's still new to me and it's great.
You know what I like? I like that the fact that your starting goaltender last night, not only was he excellent, you got him for a 3rd-round pick, which that 3rd-round pick probably sitting in the minors right now, maybe in the CHL, maybe he's overseas, who knows where he is right now, and not impacting your team at all. Steve Yzerman, another W. Uso is arguably right now probably playing at a top 8, top 9 level in the NHL in terms of goaltending, so great trade.
No, and people are saying, I'm surprised that you guys are talking hockey. It was a nice win. That was a big win yesterday. They didn't... And when you look at all the analytics and the X goals and everything, all the geeky-ish that really none of it, even I don't understand, like X goals and all that kind of stuff. But all the analytics said Washington should have won that game.
Oh yeah.
But I know the reason why they didn't.
Because of Ville Husso.
Because of Ville Husso. That's what I'm talking about.
And the spirit of that 75th,
It was more because of Ville Husso.
The reunion definitely helped though.
No, I don't believe in that stuff. My mom, my brothers were there last night. I don't believe in that. I think that's all
hockey is
fictitious.
There a lot of momentum
Steve
goes into hockey.
Darren McCarty over there. Boy, I'm not going to give up 7 goals tonight. I feel a lot better. I don't believe in that. But
Vladdy holding the cup.
Vladdy always pulls the heartstrings out every time they do it. Breaks my heart.
Right. Lane Hartman says the Datsuk trade haunts me, but I finally almost let it go. We got Nielsen, Chalowski, Hronek, etc. Yeah, but Lane, Stevie Wise fixed that. Brad Holmes is in the process of fixing those same things. I think, what are we down to, 19 Quinn Tricia holdovers? Something like that, somewhere in the teens. He's weeding it out, and Stevie Y did the same thing. I thought it was important to talk about it because it was a very, very nice win. And I don't know how much longer we're going to, it's going to be appointment viewing for me. I don't know. But it is for now, and it's cool. I didn't realize how long it's been, man.
Yeah.
Pistons playoffs, maybe?
Probably, yeah.
2014? No.
16, 17?
17.
Yeah.
Dwayne Casey's first year, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
like
16 or
that's
17.
how long it's, like, think about it, guys. That's how long since we've had any juice going. So it's fun, and they deserve credit for it.
Yeah, imagine not getting a boner in 6 years. That's awful.
How long you been married for? No, I'm kidding. Neal Ruhl here for Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. Cintron's combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. Okay. You can try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free, all in one Red Wings themed package. And don't forget, at Kroger, it's 2 for $4. Better double up. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
Get dope like me.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. You can get your customized approach to weight loss. Think of all the ways that weight affects your health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Custom Health Centers blessed to have over 20,000 success stories. It's been their honor to help many professional athletes lose weight and improve their health. People like former Detroit Lion great Eddie Murray, Pro Bowl MVP, by the way, Eddie Murray. And Detroit Piston bad boy, Rick Mahorn. You can start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason. And Custom Health, 844-789-8446. Again, that's 844-789-THIN. Custom Health Centers. Back and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Happy to have you all here with us. We got Adam Baydoun in the house for D-Mac and Terry. We went to the dark side, everybody. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. I'm not getting that vibe from you, though. You seem well-behaved so far. You almost had one slip-up.
I always behave. People are a bunch of bitches, that's all. They just, you disagree with somebody, their panties get up all in a bunch. What are you going to do?
All right, we're losing
everybody, Neal.
Adam, did you hear about Easy's fish theory the other day?
I did.
Neal, did you hear about that?
No.
So, to save face and help the Lions draft a quarterback while getting Will Anderson still in the process, we're going to dress Fish up as a lady of the night and send him into C.J. Stroud's dorm, snap some pictures in there, maybe put a gas mask on C.J. Stroud so his stock plummets so we can still draft Will Anderson with our first pick.
With the Rams pick?
Yeah, and get C.J. Stroud with the Rams pick.
All right, man. It's as good as any other theory I've heard. Why not?
Fish didn't say no.
All right. So, keep working on it. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. MPWMU. I can't wait for playoff hockey talk to be back in Detroit. It's been too long. Keep trotting Nedeljkovic out there every third day, and you won't have to worry about playoff hockey talk.
Yeah, I think they got to limit him to 16 starts at most on the year. Even then.
But do you think you can win when he's out there?
No,
I don't think they can win.
Here's the problem. What the Tampa Bay Lightning did was Vasilevsky's first year, he played about 12 games. And then he went into next season as the starter. So I'm not sure what the timeline is on Sebastian Cossa, but you got to consider towards the end of the year because I don't think they're going to be in the playoffs. Give him a run of 4, 5, 6, 8 games if possible. And yeah, look, just sit Nedeljkovic. Give him a healthy scratch. You don't have to send him down.
And I believe his contract's up right now too. at the end of the year, Nedeljkovic. So, there's nothing.
You're not losing anything.
You're not losing anything. So, and it's going to be time to make those hard decisions, man.
Just like you didn't lose anything when you traded T.J. Hockenson. It's all good.
It's all good. Speaking of that, so Lions, Packers, the first game in the post T.J. Hockenson era. So I know a lot of eyes are going to be on James Mitchell, Brock Wright. Brock Wright questionable right now. We'll see exactly what the story is with that. Here's my deal. And Spence has the question on the screen if you're watching right now, WoodwardSports.com, wherever you're watching. Who will pick up the slack for the Lions? To my response is, what slack? 60 yards receiving every fourth game?
Technically, Neal, it is 6.7 targets per game and 44 receiving yards per game in his career.
Anybody will pick up that slack. Anybody. It just drives the... Why did I get set up here? Wait a minute. Everyone's sitting here laughing like Sam Flannel's got this grin on his face. Spence has got a delayed laugh. Did you guys set me up with this or no?
No, it's just funny.
I feel like I was set up.
He gives you 100 yards every 24, 25 games. Right. It's not bad, right?
Once in a while. Once a year.
Look, you're going to... Look, the reality is you don't need anybody to pick up the slack because it was pathetic. James Mitchell's already a better run blocker. That's not me. That's PFF, so you can go yell at them. You know where Hockenson ranks this year among tight ends in run blocking? A good old 94. There are 93 tight ends that...
Wait a minute.
And I was told he was an elite blocker.
Yeah. Well, for sure, I was told, and he's double-teamed all the time. That was something that people in the chat ran to,
That's
too.
a lie. Yeah. If you ever watch the game, that's a lie. He gets the linebacker every time. And he either doesn't beat him, or when he does... The quarterback's either dying, throwing to somebody else, or he throws it to him, and what do you know? He doesn't catch it. He has the same catch rate through his first 4 seasons as Eric Ebron, and he's only 0.2% better than Eric Ebron. He's got 9 fewer drops, but he's played in 9 fewer games, so he's still got 9 games to catch up to that number. So again, pick up the slack for who?
Yeah.
You lost a turd. If the Lions, God forbid, the Lions actually did a smart move and they fired Dan Campbell somehow before Sunday. Who's going to pick up the slack for Dan Campbell? My mother could. You'll probably win the game if Dan Campbell's not coaching on Sunday. So, yeah, look, Hockenson, he'll probably have more success in Minnesota given they actually know what the hell they're doing. They have a coach. They have, other weapons that are useful. Having said that, the Lions aren't losing anything. James Mitchell will be just fine. Brock Wright showed he's more than capable. If anything, he's out-received Hockenson over the last few weeks outside of that explosion game against Seattle. Hockenson's a turd. But not as a player, just in Detroit. He was a turd. Just like A'Shawn Robinson was. He was a turd here. He went on and had success. Good for him. But the reality is, in Detroit, he had no success. He's a player that every 25 games would get you 100 yards. Wow, that's a big accomplishment.
These are all facts, man.
But he's a top 10 tight end. What the fuck does that mean? No. He's a top 10 tight end in a league where there's maybe 4 or 5 at most that are really good tight ends. Goddard, Kelsey, Andrews,
Kittle,
but he's not even producing like a top 5 tight end. So, what's the deal here?
He's the T.J. Hockenson of the top 5 tight ends.
He fools everybody.
2,000-yard season.
But he's actually a good run blocker, by the way.
That's very true.
He is.
No, I have a crazy stat about T.J. Hockenson, too, because I've had many. I've heard a lot of people, I know you guys have heard this, too, that T.J. Hockenson had a Pro Bowl season. I know you guys have heard people say that all the time.
He was like the 9th fill-in.
But
7 tight ends had to be shot on Monroe Street for him to get in.
And that's actually very true. And one of the reasons is that T.J. Hockenson's average game that year, his numbers average out to 4 receptions and 45 yards per game.
Oof.
Do you think James Mitchell and Brock Wright couldn't combine for 4 receptions and 45 yards? And if people want to talk about him in the red zone, he only had 6 touchdowns that year. The numbers play out to, as a member of the Detroit Lions, he was mid, and while he was on the Detroit Lions, the Lions have been the worst team in the NFL during his tenure, and they're the worst team in the NFL this year. So anybody who is still advocating that was a bad trade or that the Lions should have kept them, I don't know what to tell you. That is absolutely shameful. It's dishonest, and I question whether you have a brain inside your head, honestly. Seriously.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Sean Wright says, Neal changes his tone from Tuesday defending the Lions not making a move, but today he's defending the move, LOL. What? Well, Sean, because I didn't think there was any way in hell that anybody would want TJ Hockenson, but here we are.
No, rephrase that. There was no way in hell they were going to get a second-round pick for TJ Hockenson. That's what Roquan Smith went for.
Right.
That's what Christian McCaffrey went for.
Right.
In division, Minnesota overpaid. He's not worth a second and maybe a third. We'll see how it plays out. Hockenson is not worth that. If I were trading, I would have offered Detroit a fourth and a fifth, and I told them, have at it. Like, you got a second and a third, you save $15 million a year, basically. I don't get it. I don't know where the angry mob is coming from, Neal, that you got rid of a tight end who clearly wasn't making a difference. Oh, well, the team got worse. They're 12-42-2 in his career. It's not like he's an impact player. Go look at the league division winners. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it right now. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood. Let's go around the league, right? Let's go look at all the teams that are in first place in their division. Dawson Knox and the Bills. Boy, he's a top 3 tight end. How about Kansas City? They have Travis Kelce. That's fair. So 1 out of the 2 divisional leaders so far. The Ravens, Mark Andrews. There you go. 2 out of 3. And then the Titans. I'm not sure who the hell their tight end is. Let's go to the NFC. Dallas Goedert. There you go. 3 out of 5. We're making progress, people. Seahawks. What? Will Dissly? Noah Fant? Kiss my ass. So there you go, 3 out of 6.
Yeah, you guys remember Will Dissly? He goes around your fantasy football league. Yeah. He's like the Zeke Elliott of tight end.
Yeah, he's the prostitute you pass around to the boys. That's it. He's not any good. He's just easy and quick. Let's go to the Vikings. Hawkinson's not elite. They're winning the division without a tight end prior to him showing up. And the Falcons, what? Kyle Pitts,
He's played like trash.
He's a wide receiver number 1 too. He's been trashed this year. Yeah. So 3 out of the 8 division leaders at the moment have an elite, exceptional tight end. No, you're not winning games in the NFL because of your tight end. You're winning them because of a guy on the defensive front who can put pressure and get after the quarterback. And I don't know, a quarterback. What do you know? They're kind of important, Neal.
Lane Hartman says, we didn't get a second and third. We traded up picks, but that's fine with me. It's about building the team the right way. Yeah, and there were pick swaps. But, again, you take 2 fourth-rounders or possibly a fourth and a fifth and turn them into a second and third.
That's the difference.
And you're not paying this guy $9.5 million next year and $13 million per year after that. You plug in James Mitchell. He's sitting here making $750,000. The production will be the same. Holler at me. Let me know. That's how good teams are made. That's how they're made, everybody. I know it hurts because he had long hair and stuff like that and had a cool nickname and all that. I understand it. I get it all. But the bottom line is he's gone. And now we move on. And for me, it's Brad Holmes, man. It's always going to be Brad Holmes, and that's the way that it is.
That's just the way it is.
It's part of the plan. The fact that you were able, again, even if it was just a second-round pick, that's alone is a steal.
Right.
Not only because of the money you're saving, but because of the production, he was giving you, and the fact that you got a second-round pick. I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here? You now have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. It is clear as day. The GM knows what he's doing. Clearly, the head coach is a turd. Can't fix that. And I don't even think he has the authority to fire him, so that's a whole different conversation that we're not going to dwell into. But at the end of the day, if you would have told me, Neal, before the season, the Lions will trade TJ Hockenson for a second-round pick, I would have gave you the middle finger and laughed and walked away. Because there's no way you could have convinced me.
Right, absolutely. When we come back, we're going to be joined with the Detroit Lions hometown hero that will be honored at Ford Field this weekend in the game against the Packers. This guy, just an incredible story, and we will talk to Bill Scalf when we come back. He was like a guardian for our country.
He was. And if you need a guardian for your home, the only place you can call is Guardian Alarm, because Guardian Alarm keeps you safe and gives you peace of mind whether you're at home or on the road with their 24/7 local monitoring. They make sure the things that are important to you stay safe. All you have to do is call 1-800
Stay Out.
That's 1-800
Stay Out.
How many days of flannel protection is there?
152.
152 days of flannel protection. So call 1-800
Stay Out. Stay out, TJ Hockenson.
Stay out, TJ Hockenson. Call him today. Tell him Big D Energy sent you. We'll be right back with the Lions hometown hero.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Adam Baydoun here in studio in for Darren McCarty and Terry Foster today. Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Neal, can you see the horns coming out of Adam's head? I cannot. But then again, it depends on how the light hits them. So I don't know. We do this every week that the Detroit Lions have a home game, and it's become one of my favorite segments that we do here. We honor the Detroit Lions hometown hero. You'll see him out there on the field at Ford Field. It is our pleasure, it is our honor to be joined by Master Sergeant Bill Scalf here in studios on the Woodward Sports Network. After graduating from Lakeshore High School in St. Clair Shores, Bill entered the Air Force in 1983 and served in active duty until 1988. He then re-entered the service with the Michigan Air National Guard in 1995 at Selfridge Air Force Base, where he served the 191st Air Wing. Master Sergeant Scalf deployed more than 20 times overseas the next 25 years to Iraq and Afghanistan. During his last tour in 2019, Master Sergeant Scalf had multiple strokes that led him being medevaced to Germany, where his 8-month recovery began. When he returned to the USA a few months at Walter Reed Hospital, he was able to finish his rehab near his home at the University of Michigan. Master Sergeant Scalf officially retired last year with more than 30 years of service to our nation. He received multiple awards, including 8 Good Conduct Medals, more than 20 deployment awards, and spend his retirement right now with his wife, Cherie, and their 3 children. It is my honor to introduce Master Sergeant Bill Scalf here in studio. And Master Sergeant Scalf, I appreciate you taking the time. And the thing that really jumps out at me, deployed 20 times to Iraq and Afghanistan. And you and I were talking before the break.
Yes.
You said a lot of that was voluntary.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Well, because it was the right thing to do, and I just wanted to serve my country. And sometimes, a lot of times, I would just go so other people wouldn't have to go. Really didn't want to. So.
You know, that's something that I've always talked about here publicly when we do these segments here. We always say thanks, right? We always say thanks for your service and why we're grateful and things like that. But the bottom line with me, my father did the Vietnam and everything like that, and I never had to. And that's something that always sticks with me. That's something obviously that you physically thought about.
Oh, sure. Because I really hope that my son doesn't have to go through some of the things that I've been through. And you think about that every day, especially during the deployments.
I mean, what do you say to that, Adam? I mean, that's something, though, that we see. Everybody that sits in that chair, while all their stories are different, there's a commonality to them all.
Selfless.
It's selfless. It's other people first.
It's about people before themselves. I really don't know what to say. It is incredible what you've done, your service. I know it's the cliche to say thank you, but oh my goodness. It is people like you that I think give most people hope. In times where, things aren't the best, or, people always disagreeing over the internet or whatever crazy world we live in. But it's individuals like yourself who have served and thought beyond themselves that really make this the best country in the world.
Thank you.
Lots of chatter on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Rack says, you've accomplished some stuff when your intro takes 3 minutes to read. Thank you, sir. But what about that? As you kind of piece it back together now, you in retirement, all those things that I read, what sticks out to you when you think about your career, your military career?
Of course, a lot of the time that I spent overseas, in the war zone. And there was a time when I went right straight from the war zone right down to Antarctica. That was one thing that really stuck out for me, because not everybody gets to go there. So, you know what, I worked hard, but I enjoyed the time that I was there.
You speak about the war zone, and this is always something that I ask everybody that comes out here, because I can't do it physically. I can't wrap my head around the fact that you're in a war zone. You wake up, the goal is to stay alive and go to sleep that night, and then the next day you do it all again. Like, that's the goal, right? Like stay alive. That's it. How do you deal with that every single day of your life? How do you deal with that?
Well, a lot of stuff you think a lot back home. You just got to shut that off, and some days it's harder to do than others. And you just keep pressing forward, because the mission has to be done, and you focus on that. And that, as long as you can stay focused on it, that helps a lot.
Just be a pro, right?
Pretty much.
I think that's the best way, is just be a pro about it, because I think, to your point, the mission is the focus. But if you're spending time worrying about other factors, you may make a mistake that's really
going to cost other people their lives.
Cost your life or others' lives. So I think that's important. My question to you is, adapting post-retirement. I know you were medically forced to, but
yes.
What is it like adapting back to normal society, where you've spent 30 years not only risking your lives but saving other people's lives and going on active duty missions where you're really putting yourself out there in constant, really a state of mind of goal-oriented objectives. I'm here to accomplish 1, 2, and 3. How do you come back home and kind of, I don't want to say switch it off, but really come back and adapt and try to be as normal as possible?
Well, a lot of it for me is, of course, it's different, because of what happened. But when it, like you said, when it comes to switching it off, that's pretty much what you have to do when you get home. May sound easy or may sound cliche, but you have to switch it off. And but I do spend a lot of time working on things and just thinking of things myself, and talking with other people that have been through the similar circumstances helps quite a bit. Yeah, that's about it.
Talking to the Detroit Lions hometown hero, he'll be honored on the field at Ford Field as a Detroit Lions host the Green Bay Packers. We're talking with Master Sergeant Bill Scalf, native of St. Clair Shores, graduated from Lakeshore High School, and entered the Air Force in 1983, was deployed more than 20 times overseas to Iraq and Afghanistan. And in the people in our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, they're struck. Rob J. says, voluntarily, not too many people would do that. That is very cool. Steve Lehman says, Bill is definitely the definition of a hero. And lots of talk about that. Braden Black, American hero. Salute to you, sir. And I know, because I like talking to you guys about that, because the commonality of the stories, they're different stories, but there is a lot of commonality to them. I do want to lighten it up just a little bit, though, and ask you about that. Lakeshore High School, St. Clair Shores, I imagine you've been a Lions fan your whole life?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
As
stubborn as it is, you have to admit.
No, but I mean, what does that mean to you to be out there on the field and Lions Packers, and we talk about sports cliches and Lions Packers and everything like that. What will that mean to you, just as a Lions fan, to be out there on the field at Ford Field? It would probably be pretty cool for you.
It would be pretty cool. It's very surprising. Let me tell you that. But yeah, it's very cool. But it's also quite an honor to be out there on the field supporting your home team.
Yeah, absolutely, and the crowd, the crowd just erupts, and it is definitely a very cool scene. So, just as far as that goes, Bill, what do the Lions have to do, man? What do we got to do? When is it our turn, Bill? We look around, we see all these teams. The Giants are good now, the Falcons are good. When is it Bill's turn?
Well, as far as the Lions go, they're going to have to get a good running back, a good lineman, a good middle linebacker like Chris Spielman. Just spend some money on the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Bill, certainly we do appreciate you coming through. Again, this is one of my favorite segments that we do. The people really seem to enjoy it. They give you a lot of credit. And certainly to your wife, Cherie, don't confuse her strength either.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, we're thankful for your service, you and your wife both, Cherie. So thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill Scalf, everybody, the Detroit Lions hometown hero. He'll be honored on the field as the Lions play the Packers. That's what it's about, Adam. Right there, man. And we're running some of the pictures right now of Bill during his deployments and some of the action shots as well.
What's crazy to me? You think of the number 20 deployments. These can go anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Right.
Depending. How many deployments did you have in Iraq? I think is my question, because those are, I think, some of the longer deployments. Maybe
I went to countries that were pretty much surrounding Iraq, like Afghanistan.
So you were facilitating, transportation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
That is crazy, man. God bless him. That is amazing. Thank you, seriously.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But Master Sergeant Bill Scalf, we appreciate your time again. Thank you, my friend.
Well, thank you very much.
Big thank you to Ronnie Cyrus, too, for facilitating all that as he does every single time with the Detroit Lions. Let me tell you about Big Boy, the burgers and the loaded fries. For an all-new burgers and loaded fries for a limited time only are available at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim, the chili cheese. You know that's a tease. And guess what else is new? It's the bacon blue. If you've gone this far, you know you're going to upgrade the fries, the chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, or the nacho fries. As my son would say, those are goated on the sticks. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms, trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club, get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. Don't forget to pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest hands. They are your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations. More on the way. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Lots of reaction here to our Detroit Lions hometown hero interview. Scott Klingler says, thank you, sir. Dr. Dirty D says, Bill is the MFing man. So, yeah, I'm glad it struck a chord with people because
it should.
Yeah, absolutely it should, man.
Because nobody's doing anything in their lives if it isn't for people like that.
Absolutely, dude. And like I said, guys like Bill, all that, they served, and he mentioned it. That's part of the reason he died. I can't imagine, let's just cut the ish. I can't imagine people today doing that. At least not a lot of people. Could you imagine that? We get mad that our coffee's wrong at Starbucks.
The data speaks for itself. There are, year to year, year over year, there are less enlistments in our military, and that's sad because it's something you should be proud of. And it's I don't want to say a generational thing, but it means something. And I don't like the fact that we've gotten to a point where you look at your military and you have a dark cloud. I don't like that. These people risk their lives. They are all good people. Some of them come back home and they're never the same. Bill's a success story in my opinion.
Some of them don't come back home.
Some of them don't come back at all. Hell, even if they're physically here, they don't come back at all. So it's tough, man.
People talking about Bill saying said he wants to spend some money. That'll get Neal upset. No. Smokin says Neal's not going to run his mouth to a vet. He has class. No, I'll pay for quality. The safety situation, Spencer, let's go back to it. Where did I stand?
Yeah, you wanted Marcus Williams.
I'll pay for quality. I'll pay for quality.
You'll pay for a proven safety instead of a rookie at number 2 overall safety?
For $10 million a year, I'll just give $15 million to the best one. Yeah.
Oh, that's a concept?
Klompsaw says standing salute to Mr. Scalf. So, so it is. It was very cool. I do want to get into the nickel packages, everybody. We doing college, pro?
Let's do pro first.
All right, let's do pro first. All right, drop that beat.
Sam, drop me a beat. All right, here is the NFL nickel package. This is Adam's first nickel package.
Yeah.
We'll see how he does. First question. Who is more likely to win their division this season? 2 first-place teams, the Falcons or the Seahawks?
You ask some hard questions, man.
Yeah, no.
You do, because I got to pick one.
You have to pick one. Can't say neither.
I know. I gotta. It can't be this. It can't be the Seahawks. So I have to say the Falcons. It can't be, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It can't be because of the Niners, not because of what the Seahawks are or aren't doing, correct?
Exactly, because the Seahawks are a better team.
They are better than what people think. They're starting 6 rookies. They're having success, by the way. Tariq Woolen, a 3rd-round pick, is already better than Jeff Okudah. Having said that, I agree
it can't be the Seahawks, right?
No, it can't.
Right?
It can't be. No. The Niners will win that division. They will, and they'll probably win it at 10-7. That'll be the winner. I think the Seahawks will finish 10-7 or 9-8, and they'll sneak into the wild card. I just don't see it. Geno Smith can't keep playing at that level. He's going to start turning the ball over eventually. You can only protect. The Giants are going to experience this. You can only protect yourself from the mediocrity that is Daniel Jones, right? You're going to run into. Look at the Giants, or excuse me, the Jets. They're dealing with Zach Wilson. He sucks. And they're finding ways to win with it. So you just have to deal with it. But I go with the Falcons. That division is trash. The New Orleans Saints are going to fall off. Panthers probably won't win a game the rest of the season. And Tom Brady, I don't know. His face is like caving in. Like
his face is swallowing itself. And like at this pace, by the time we get past Thanksgiving, like it's gonna consume itself, and it's gonna suck back into his head. And how is he gonna play quarterback like that? So how can the Bucs win? Because his face is literally swallowing itself.
It's fair. It's a fair question.
Yeah. So I guess by default, it's got to be Atlanta. I guess.
All right, I like it.
We'll monitor Tom Brady's face situation as it continues to swallow itself.
Next question. We'll stay with the Birds. Can Kenneth Walker, even though missing the first 4 games of the season, can he win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
He will win it.
Okay, go on, Adam.
All right.
He will win it. It's not even a debate unless he gets hurt. He plays the rest of the games. He will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's not Kenny Pickett. It's nobody.
Certainly not.
Chris Olave?
Chris Olave, no. Brees Hall was the front runner, injured. He's done for the year.
You guys are doing it. People are sleeping on Dameon Pierce, man.
Dameon Pierce is playing real well too.
He's putting some games together. I think at this point, it is like Dameon Pierce, Kenneth Walker.
Pierce. I do think Kenneth Walker wins it though. It's Dameon, Kenneth, and Olave in my opinion.
Yeah, Olave's been nice too, but yeah, it's Kenneth Walker. It's Dameon Pierce. I think to me, if he continues on this trajectory and they keep winning games, see, this is what Kenneth Walker is going to get that Pierce won't. If they continue to win games, who are they going to? I mean, obviously they're going to point to Geno Smith, but they're going to say, "Look what happened when Kenneth Walker."
He's doing the same thing he did in college.
Same-ish.
Crazy.
Think about it though. For the regular season, he's already rushed for 461 yards. He's only been the starter for a few weeks.
Right. Yeah.
Pierce is at 635. And he's been playing the whole damn year as the number 1.
Yeah.
So put that into consideration. Pierce averaging 4.4 yards a carry. Kenneth Walker 5.5. Big difference.
Here's some shade at you real quick. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Spence. Chuck Brewer says Willis for MVP. Detroit should have taken him number 2 overall. Roll his eyes.
Malik Willis?
Yeah, facts.
Malik Willis is a running back. Did you see how they played against the Texans?
Willis for MVP.
He sat back there like a good bitch and handed the ball off because he couldn't throw the football. God bless Mike Vrabel. You want to talk about a coach that knows his situation, self-awareness, knows how to win a football game? There's another example of a coach winning with less.
Facts. Willis for MVP for sure. But next question.
Third down.
More total points scored in a game between either the Chargers versus the Falcons or the Lions versus Packers. Which game will have more total points scored?
You got to say until further notice that it's going to be Lions-Packers because, maybe there's a tight end in town for Detroit now that can be counted on to get more than 45 yards per game. I'm kidding, but am I? No, it's just with the defense with the Lions. And look, let's be real too. And I told you guys this. This plays into my opinion on this game. I will put the tanks back in the bay for 1 week and 1 week only. I want Aaron Rodgers and the Packers franchise destroyed. And the Lions have that opportunity to do that this weekend. However, with that being said, Aaron Rodgers knows they lose this football game, they're cooked. And I'm talking about lasting implications. If he retires, he destroys that organization. Destroys them with salary cap implications.
They're 3-5. They're on a 4-game losing streak. The Packers have the most to lose this weekend than any other team
NFL.
In the NFL, more than any team in the NFL at the moment. I would disagree, though. Chargers-Falcons, it'll be a shootout. It'll be a 34-31 game. Yes, no Keenan Allen. Yes, no Mike Williams. I think Eckler, Palmer, Carter, that offense will be just fine. Somehow, someway, Arthur Smith always finds a way to put points up on the board. Sure. They do get Cordell Patterson back. I don't like either defense in that situation. Watch out for the Packers defense this week to have their get-right game. So
and you got to
I'm
think,
going to stick with the Falcons and the Chargers.
The Lions only score points in the first half, so you don't have to worry about that after halftime.
That's good coaching. Shut up, Spence. He has them prepared for the first half. Now, he doesn't fucking figure it out the second half, but he's got them prepared for the first half,
That's
Spence.
fair.
Woodward's WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Alan Lee says, my life goal is to get Neal to read one of my takes on air. There you go, Alan. You check that off your list. Also on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jay Thomas says, okay, we beat the Packers, then what? Nothing changes. Oh, things change for the Packers. And you know what? If nothing can happen with my team, the one team I want to see destroyed is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, if this goes south this year, are going away for a long time.
No, they're not.
They're going away for, yes, they are.
3 years at most.
That's a long time. They're going away for a long
a team
time.
That's had a winning record 26
and I'm here
of the last
for
30 years.
Who's coming to save them?
No one's coming to save them, but if there's any organization you trust to figure it out in 2-3 years.
We'll trade them, Jared Goff.
Absolutely, straight up. All right, fourth down.
Dan
Jordan
Campbell,
Love.
if they want.
Next up.
I'll give up the first overall pick if they take him.
Speaking of Adams, get right for the Packers defense. Over under 1.5 turnovers for Jared Goff versus the Packers.
Over.
So I'm going to lean under. He'll have one.
Okay.
There's always one, at least one.
Yeah.
Will it cost him? The question is, will that one cost him the game?
Well, just ask Dan Campbell. He'll tell you, well, look, there's a lot of plays that go on in the game. They're all important. You just don't know which one's going to be important. Fucking idiot.
He has, dude. I'm honestly starting to get there with him, too. The stuff he's been saying has just pissed me off.
Going to go over. Sean Gary, Jair Alexander, Darnell Savage.
Yeah.
No, they got it.
He'll have one for sure.
One for sure.
Like if you're building your single game parlay.
Yeah.
You're basically
Jared Goff anytime turnover.
You're basically betting one in theory because you're going to get a guaranteed one. So you already spotted one.
Right.
It's whether or not there's another one.
Will he have one above?
Yes.
One above. He's going to
have a normal
one.
game.
Okay.
There is no doubt about it. Fifth down.
That's very fair. Final question of the nickel package. Cardinals are a -2 favorite over the Seahawks for some reason, even though Call of Duty came out last week. Who do you got in that game? Cardinals or Seahawks?
This is Cardinals all day long.
Really?
All day long. Stay tuned a little bit later on in the show, by the way.
Okay.
This is Cardinal. I have never felt better about Kyler Murray in my life, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do, to put all your eggs in Kyler Murray's basket and guarantee an outcome.
That's my farm bet of the weekend.
They will beat the Seahawks, A, because they have to, and B, because they will. They will win this football game, and it's absurd. It goes against every fiber of my being because that's volatility. I don't do volatility, Adam.
3 weeks ago, Seattle dominated Arizona at home. No DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is now back. Since he's been back, in those 2 weeks, he's led the NFL in receptions and receiving yards. He's exceptional. Kyler Murray looks better. The offense will get right. They'll take care of business against Seattle. Give me Arizona to cover the points.
Well, and here on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Jack Harrington says, I'll take the Seahawks because Kyler will be too busy with Call of Duty. Well, Jack, I'll say this.
True.
They'll score on the first play of every drive so he can get back to the sideline and jump back in COD. Like that's he's just going to make quick work of them offensively.
That's fair.
The Cardinals will have maybe 18 plays, and then Kyler will get back to the booth, and he'll be firing up the COD.
Yeah, he'll be ready to go.
You ever mix it up in COD with him?
No. I've never gone with Kyler and COD.
Are you a Call of Duty guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I heard it sucks.
I heard it's not that good. Yeah, I haven't played the new one yet. I don't have time to play video games that much anymore. But yeah, I heard it's not good.
Is Call of Duty has that become the first-person shooter Madden, where people are just going to trash it no matter what?
No,
they do minimal upgrades.
They're reskinning the same game and just adding one new feature. It's all about Warzone though now. People don't really play the online as much.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Warzone's their battle royale. So.
Yeah, video games are in a weird place, Neal.
Yeah, they are.
Literally, there's a game in 2005 that to this day is better than any video game ever put out. Like, that's sad to me.
Well, I mean, what did you expect though? Look at everything in our lives, man.
Yeah.
There's like 3 choices in everything, and that's it.
Elden Ring was awesome.
But you can choose different colors for stuff, and then all of a sudden you think
But you got to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but then it's weird though. It's weird to hear COD catch all of this shade. I gotta send this over to Sam Flannel because I want to hear this one. Tell him about Swiss, right?
Yes, not Hammond Swiss or Roastby and Swift, but Swiss Insurance Group. Swiss Insurance Group and their employees are heavily involved in their community. It is very rewarding, but comes with great responsibility. If you sit on a local youth sports board, homeowners association, or a volunteer coach, directors and officers insurance is a must. Make sure the kids, parents, and volunteers are protected. Call Swiss Insurance today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Pulling up on hour number 2, Neal Ruhl, Adam Baydoun. The horns aren't sticking out of his head. Nobody dumped any water on him, but he's doing a good job, I think. He's broke free of contain a couple times, but you knew that was on brand. You don't stop Adam Baydoun.
You can only are soft as tissue paper. What do you want me to do?
Hey, you're never going to stop Adam Baydoun. You just hope to contain him.
I don't think anything's ever been worse than Avila era Adam. That was.
I had to do what needed to be done. All right.
I'm not proud of it.
I'm not proud of it either. All right. I'm not. Somebody had to do it.
Avila era
Somebody had
Adam.
to show up to that stadium and say "fuck you, Al." All right. Somebody had to do it.
And hey, did we get the desired
result we want?
The job
all right?
is done.
Scott Harris. You got a guy that's in his mid-40s, early 40s, I should say. Right?
Yep.
You got a young guy. He's in shape. He's not a fat fuck like Al Avila. Now you got a guy who knows how to run a baseball operation.
I shouldn't have mentioned his name, but
you're directly responsible for this. Everybody in the chat, because it's going to start dropping here in about 15 seconds. That was Spencer Raxter's fault, not Neal Ruhl's fault. That guy.
Can you? I know you're new.
You're going to go in again, aren't you?
No, I'm just saying. I know his new. Campaign is Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Can you do a Scotty Hazelton campaign?
I did, and it didn't gain the traction I thought because I said 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago that if I was living in the 1500s, Scott Hazelton would be brought out to the public town hall and hung and executed on the spot. But nobody really liked it when I said that.
No one
I
backed
like that.
No.
I was cool with that.
That's Adam Baydoun and Spencer Raxter, everybody. That does not reflect the views of Neal Ruhl. Jack Harrington, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Spencer, why did you do that?
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just...
No, but my focus right now is Dan Campbell. I'm tired of watching awful football coaches get hired by this franchise. People deserve better. I'm sorry.
Chuck Brewer says, Neil Adams getting the stink eye right now from my wife with his swearing, LOL. She's used to you and D-Mac being a bit tamer. She's not around me, though, for the morning show, LOL. So he just tapped into the morning show.
Sorry.
All right, let's get this back on the tracks. College nickel package. Sam Flannel, if you would.
Absolutely. And today we are doing an all-SEC college football nickel package.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Big Ten suck.
So when we think of the SEC, we think of 3 teams: Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama. But little old LSU is kind of creeping in the background. They're ranked number 10, and they host this Saturday one-loss Alabama at LSU in Baton Rouge. Does LSU officially end Alabama's college football playoff hopes this Saturday?
I don't think it's this Saturday. I'm very pro Alabama still in all this. From just closing, coming down the stretch here. They still control their destiny. Whether you guys like it or not, they still control their destiny.
Absolutely.
Look at these schedules, by the way. Like look at who these teams are. Look at Tennessee, Alabama, at Georgia, LSU. And oh, by the way, I know people forgot this. They saw what happened at the beginning of the year. Brian Kelly's got them cooking a little bit.
6-2.
He's a good football coach, man. He's going to figure it out down there. He's going to win at some point down there. He is.
Way too much talent there.
But no, they can't beat Alabama.
Oh, every bone in my body is telling me Alabama wins this game easily. But I'm going to roll with LSU. LSU on the upset. They end Alabama's season. Brian Kelly, for as much of a turd as he is, and I should say turd
as a person,
the way he looks. Family. LSU at home, it's a favorable matchup for them. Give me LSU. They haven't lost at home since Tennessee. Granted, they got mollywopped, but there's talent. You can't tell me there isn't talent at Louisiana. Every year they have talent.
Yeah, there's talent at Alabama, too.
Of course, and they got a better coach for sure, but I'm not seeing
I don't think that's the slam dunk everybody thinks it is, though. Like, Brian Kelly... no one likes him, right? Like, no one likes him.
Oh, but he's going to win.
He can coach his ass off.
Oh, I'm sorry. He took Notre Dame from irrelevant to relevant.
Grand Valley.
And
I mean,
since...
wherever he's been, they win.
If I'm doing the numbers correctly, since Jim Harbaugh showed up at Michigan, Brian Kelly, Lincoln Riley, Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney. Yeah. That's the company Jim Harbaugh and Brian Kelly are in terms of wins and win percentage. Guy knows how to win football games.
He knows how to win football games, man. Second down.
All right, so this Saturday in the SEC, it gives a chance for 2 of the best quarterbacks in the nation to really make Heisman statements. So which quarterback accounts for more touchdowns, passing and rushing combined this Saturday? Bryce Young or Hendon Hooker?
This is one of the better questions, as in all I have for you, Sam Flannel, is I don't know. I don't know, for real. I would say if I had to bet the mortgage on it, I would probably take Hendon Hooker because I think the pace of the game will allow for it more. See, people get lost in that. They forget about paces of games when they talk about scoring offenses and things like that. Teams that have 10 possessions or 11 possessions a game, they score more than teams that have 8 possessions per game. That's just the way that the math works. I think that the nature of the game with Tennessee, Georgia, because Tennessee will have to score because they're going to give it up.
Yep.
They're going to give up points in that game. They will have to score. So I'll lean towards Hendon Hooker. But if it were the option, if the option of betting that were presented to me, I would pass. But I'll lean Hendon Hooker.
I'm going to go Hooker. I think it's clear and obvious. Tennessee, I believe, could shock people this weekend.
Ooh.
To your point, you don't lose all that NFL talent on Georgia and somehow rebound the next year and you're as gifted on defense.
I agree
They're
with.
not as good as you think they are on defense. Florida kind of exposed them in the second half.
That's my point about Michigan. It runs parallel with my point about Michigan. You go 3 first-round picks off your defense, man, and Georgia had, 5 or whatever that number was?
It matters.
It matters.
And Tennessee have so many
And Ojabo was a de facto first-round pick.
For sure. 100%.
They have so many options on how they're going to beat you. Home run ball. Methodically going 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays to go down the field. Hendon Hooker, I'm taking him on the bet. It's an easy one. I have to worry about Gibbs in the backfield. Out at Bama, you know Bama's going to want to establish the run, especially on the road. Give me Hendon Hooker in that matchup.
Yeah.
All right, third down. This Saturday gives another superstar player a chance to showcase himself and maybe make his mark as the potential greatest defensive player in college football history. That is Will Anderson. What is the over-under for sacks this Saturday? I just made this up. 1.5. Over or under?
Well, he gets double-teamed all the time, doesn't he?
I love that word.
Does he get double-teamed all the time or no? Did PFF release a double-team grade?
I mean, if they're going to use that to excuse all of his failures, like Aiden Hutchinson, right?
If it fits your narrative. No.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, it fits in if I say that Alabama's going to win the football game and beat LSU. It's got to go over.
Yes, you're going to run the ball a ton.
Because stars got to be stars. Yeah. For you to win games on the road against big-time teams in big-time environments, your stars have to ball out.
What if I told you it was going to be a push? Because that's exactly what I think will happen.
1.5?
I think 1.5 is going to push. He hasn't had over 2 sacks since, September 24th against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of a down year,
I'm not buying it. I'm going to go under.
All right, there you go.
Push will happen, though. We'll have this conversation next week.
I'll say over because the big-time players have to make big-time plays in big-time games. And he's a big-time player. And that's a big-time game, so there's only one thing missing.
Yes, 100%. And when I say down year for Will Anderson, any other player in the nation, this would be their best year ever. So that's saying something. All right, fourth down. This Saturday's Tennessee versus Georgia matchup also sees another great individual sort of matchup. The probable Mackey Award winner Brock Bowers and the probable Bolintikoff Award winner Jalen Hyatt. Who has more receiving yards this weekend?
Probably Jalen Hyatt. He's a big time player, man.
Oh, dude. Like it's him, Hooker and Hyatt is one of those like all-time great duos for a season.
So for Hooker to keep Tennessee in this game, again, these are the games when we get to November and you get in conference championship games and you get in playoff games. I always like to talk about this. And no matter what the sport is, the game shrinks, whether it's hockey or football or basketball, the game shrinks. There's less of the fifth receiver, less of the fourth receiver. If you're going to die on the hill, you're going to die with guys like Hyatt. You just are. Yep. And you're going to get him the football and get him the football and get him the football. This can alter the trajectory of Tennessee's program if they win this game. If they win this game, this can change everything for them. If they win this game, they're basically assured to be in the college football playoff because they can lose the SEC title game and still. You're going to tell me
the 2 best wins in college football.
You tell me you're going to keep Tennessee out with a one-loss Tennessee team that beat Georgia and Alabama and then lost to Alabama. No way. No way. So this changes everything. If Tennessee wins, they're in.
LSU, Alabama, Kentucky. Those are the last 3 ranked opponents he's played. 15 receptions, 400 yards, 9 touchdowns. Against Alabama, 200-plus yards, 5 touchdowns. Jalen Hyatt, not even close.
And I see people in the chat thread, WarSports.com chat thread. Dirty South Wolverine says, no way, Georgia will bracket him for sure. It won't matter.
Those are just fan words.
It won't matter. He will get the rock. Watch.
20 yards of reception. Good luck.
Well, and also the passing offenses. I think Hendon Hooker is a little bit better than Stetson Bennett, and they throw the ball around more. So I think Hyatt as well, just for the record. And fifth down. Let's just keep it simple. Who wins this Saturday, Tennessee or Georgia?
I have a default answer for these types of questions, and it serves me well most of the time. A little bit less than most of the time. Obviously, I get burned on it. But until I see it. And you can beat Alabama at home in an environment where the fans tear the goalpost down and throw them in the river. Like, you can do that. you're going into the eye of the storm. You're going into Athens. You're going in to Georgia, the defending national champions. 100 guys in the NFL draft last year. 100 guys that think they're going to go in this year's draft as well. I don't think that you just pop up on the scene and beat Alabama and then go win at Georgia. And then look, is that flawed logic? It could be.
I get it though. It's fair.
Until I see it, I won't believe it. I'm sorry.
I do believe you're going to see it.
Okay.
I think Georgia doesn't have an answer. The talent, again, you can't lose the pressure you lost up front last season and suddenly become a team. Look, you know what? To Georgia's credit, they've won all their games. They've done what they're supposed to do. But I haven't seen a Georgia where 8 games in last year, I think we're all talking about one of the greatest college football teams of all time. It's not the same Georgia. Florida exposed them, I would say, for about a quarter and a half, 2 quarters at most, and then Georgia got a command of the game. Stetson Bennett's not going to beat Tennessee. That's where I'm at. Which quarterback is going to beat the opposing team? I don't think Stetson Bennett beats Tennessee. I think Hooker by himself can beat Georgia. So I'm going with Tennessee.
It's the road angle to it for me. And a lot of people in WoodwardSports.com chat there talk about too. Josh Heupel will be the coach of the year if they win. He can already clear out space on a shelf in his office for that Coach of the Year work because he's getting it. Because it would be incredible. When's the last time we've seen, if Tennessee pulls this off, when's the last time we've seen something like, just out of the blue?
We're talking a seismic shift in college football.
Yeah. Auburn maybe with Cam Newton.
What do we always associate Tennessee with? Money, great recruiting, underperforming.
I've always associated them with Michigan. I always said that they were the SEC Michigan.
They get to a college football playoff. What does that mean for Nick Saban? What does that mean for Kirby Smart? Now, I'm not talking next year, 3-5 years from now. Tennessee wins this game. It changes the landscape of college football.
It just of the does. SEC.
Well, I mean, that affects...
It has an impact on the hierarchy of the SEC. You can't deny that.
It changes everything. And then, again, you look at an LSU, an Arkansas. You look at some of these schools that are trying to get back to, where they think they should be. Good luck bidding with Tennessee. Good luck. That's all I have to say.
Michigan's at Rutgers this week, by the way.
No, that's a great game to watch. Can't wait.
Somebody was asking, so I just wanted to let them know. Hey, Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, unlike me when I'm talking about college football, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym has always been known for being clean, but now it's cleaner than ever. Tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes with the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this, just $10 a month for access to your home club. Join today in club. You'll pass a couple on the way home, just pull in the parking lot, or go to planetfitness.com on your computer right now. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Adam Baydoun in for DMAC and Terry Foster. Only Adam Baydoun can cover the work of two.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Easy.
Light work.
Light work.
Light work.
Doing it with you, easy as hell.
Speaking of light work, we have Sam Flannel here in the house as well. Spencer Raxter in the building. I'm kidding with you, Sam Flannel. Michigan at Rutgers, as we talked about, the exhibition season continues for Michigan. Michigan State at Illinois, huge underdog. What?
Oh, you're doing great.
What? It's a 10-game exhibition season.
I get it. No, I'm with you. I like the way you're going about it. I'm all for it. I'm agreeing with you. I just love the way you're doing it.
Does that make you mad when I say that, or is that accurate? I always go to you, Sam Flannel.
Okay, it is somewhat accurate. They have had a weak-ish schedule, but you did pick Penn State to cover the spread, and when Michigan curb stomped and ran for 418 yards, you all of a sudden backpedaled like Penn State wasn't good anyway.
They're not. That was the test.
Okay, but it was because Michigan killed them. That was part of the reason. Michigan made them look terrible. Penn State didn't look too bad against Ohio State, just for the record.
Until Ohio State put up 28 points in the fourth quarter.
And until Michigan ran for 418 yards against Penn State. It was more Michigan being good than Penn State being bad. Come on, Neal.
Okay. We'll see, man.
They have had a weak schedule, though. I'll admit that.
All right.
Freely.
Okay, so then you just agree with what I said. Okay.
To his credit, though, if we're being fair, Michigan, that's a tough game. 7:30 at night at Rutgers. They're one of the best teams in college football.
It's the birthplace of college football. All that tradition that's in there. How, as a Michigan fan, Sam Flannel, what's the plan to neutralize the tradition that is Rutgers football, the birthplace of college football?
And their best coach in school history is back, Greg Schiano. Tough game, but no, seriously.
Yeah,
I do like Greg Schiano.
No, he's a good coach.
They just got to avoid the student section, all those nerds playing the clarinets. Right? That's home field advantage. So if you can quiet them down, Michigan might have a chance.
Rob J., WoodwardSports.com chat thread. As a Michigan fan, the only teams I fear are Georgia and Alabama.
You don't fear Ohio State at all? Come on.
Never mind. I don't want to say that. It's not nice.
Say it.
You'll be getting your ass handed to you. I'll say it in a nicer way.
Woodward
by
Sports,
Ohio State for the last decade.
WoodwardSports.com chat
I know what
thread.
you're going to say. Yeah, you can't say that.
Chuck Brewer says, so Ohio State sucks too then. You know what? I am starting to question Ohio State a little bit. Like, they have these spells where offensively, and look, they're explosive, no doubt. Put a 28 burger on the board at fourth quarter at Penn State. They do go through these spells, though. Their offense, now granted, when they get in the red zone, they score. They score touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's just they're not the juggernaut that I thought they were maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago.
Well, their running game. They don't just
and that's what it is.
Ryan Day is trying to establish the run. Let's just call a spade a spade. He's trying his best. It's not working. And you've seen him make the adjustment mid-game where he's like, you know what, F it. We can't run the ball. C.J. Stroud, Marvin Harrison Jr., go figure it out.
Yeah, and for me, because I was big on Travion Henderson, I was like, this guy looks legit. He looks the part. This guy's going to punish people. And they haven't done it. For whatever reason, they haven't done it, which makes me think, is that offensive line, did it not bounce back? Because their offensive line was less than as it typically has been last year.
Yes.
And I thought they would improve this year. And have they?
Penn State were in the game for that reason. Line of scrimmage. It was a pretty even game up until
it was.
JT decided to basically turn the ball game around in a minute and 9 seconds.
Right.
So.
Chuck Brewer also says, Adam, can you with a straight face say Neal is unbiased when it comes to Michigan?
He absolutely is not biased at all. 100%. Now, one thing he said incorrect about Michigan. Please, somebody point that out to me. Please. Is it not factual that they haven't won Columbus since 2000? Is it not the truth that they struggled up until last year to beat Ohio State?
Very factual.
Am I missing something, Flannel?
No, those are all facts.
What else does Neal say about Michigan?
I think the one that gets under people's skin, and even mine a little bit, is the whole half a national title thing.
Well, it is half a national title.
Okay, but they still were undefeated, won the Rose Bowl. They did everything that they had to do. It was a vote. It was still
That's
one of...
great.
But you can't discredit it. You can say that they both won.
I didn't discredit it.
Saying what it is.
All right, fair enough. But that was the greatest team in school history, and they did earn everything they got.
One of those teams in the 40s wasn't better?
Tom Harmon? No, absolutely not.
Let's talk about Tom Harmon, 248. Spence, you're not getting out of this, by the way.
What? What did I do?
Michigan State, 17-point underdog at Illinois, 8 players suspended.
Michigan State suck. Just say it.
How did we get to this?
I said it. I said it.
But Spence, how did we get to this point?
Yeah. Well, you beat somebody up in the tunnel.
He came too early.
That's how you get the 8 players suspended. It's going to be ugly. It's I'd take Illinois with the points for sure.
They can't run the ball.
Illinois can't
looks
run
like
the
he's
ball.
seeing ghosts.
Yeah,
Keon Coleman's a baller.
Yeah, they should throw the ball to Keon Coleman 40
sucks.
times, and that's it.
Michigan State are brutal to watch right now.
40
he
throws
came
to
early.
Keon
That's all
Coleman.
that happened. He busted too early. They weren't ready. It was year 1, technically, of the rebuild.
Yeah.
I don't even count the COVID season.
No.
And they hit lightning in the bottle. They overachieved, and it set these expectations where they're now very much underachieving. And you know what? You got to question Mel Tucker a little bit and say, well, outside of clapping,
and that's fair.
Because outside of clapping on the sideline, I'm not sure what you're doing because you've had the same defensive issues now for 7 weeks. You've had the same rushing issues for 7 weeks. Like, again, lightning in a bottle last year was awesome. But, hey, time out. Are you just going to do this and say I'm coming for 14 weeks in the season? Or are you going to coach?
But see, the thing for me is look, I don't pay any attention to the contract. I know Michigan fans, have an obsession with this contract for some reason. I don't. It doesn't matter. That's market issues, and that's the going rate for coaches these days. I don't care about that. My issue is to have the season you had last year, and certainly, as you talked about, it was lightning in a bottle with K9 and everything like that. To not follow that up, and look, we knew it was going to be a down year. It wasn't going to be an 11-win team. Teams go through cycles and stuff like that. But for it to be like this, Spence, for it to be like you can't have that.
No,
you can't. And I'm not saying he's a joke, and I'm not making fun of the Tuck Cummins stuff or anything like that. He still beat Jim Harbaugh a couple of times. Like those facts all remain. But it is not acceptable. See, what makes a program a great program, what are your dips? You can't fall off the planet, man.
Yeah.
They've fallen off the planet this year. And you can't have that. If you're going to be an 11-win, we're 11 wins, and you said it yourself, that's the expectation.
Yeah.
Contend for the Big Ten title, New Year's Six bowls, pretty much what they did last year. That was your expectation.
Yeah. Not this year. I knew they were going to fall off this year.
Which is fine.
I said 9 wins, which is
absolutely.
So
and
that's
the
that's
floor
a follow.
was 7, the ceiling was 9, and they are grossly underachieving.
Yes.
You can't have it. If you're going to be legit, you can't do this.
No, you can't. And like I said, if you're going to be legit and you want us to take you as a legit head coach, you got to fire Scotty Hazelton. You literally have to. If he's back next year, I'm not watching a single game.
Spence, it all goes back to what I say all the time. There has to be a pound of flesh.
Yes.
There has to be. We've seen it with the Lions. We saw it with the Red Wings. When you have a season like this, there has to be a pound of flesh. I don't care who it is, but it's got to be somebody.
It's got to be Scotty Hazelton.
It's got to be somebody.
And Jay Johnson, for all I care.
Shoot, Jay Johnson. I've got a crazy stat. I just looked him up. Ever since their first 2 games, which were kind of their easy wins, their leading rusher in their last 6 games respectively, 27, 23, 36, 9, 59, 22.
Yeah.
And
the
last
offensive
year,
line sucks.
Yeah, and last year they're coming off of Kenneth Walker. So that is just such a precipitous dip, and it shows how many flaws that Kenneth Walker kind of covered up.
Oh, yeah. That's like MSU fans knew that watching that season, that it was Kenneth Walker, because you'd see him break 3 tackles before he got to the line of scrimmage and then bust one for 60. Like, the offensive line is awful. Going into this season, we knew the offensive line in the secondary was still awful. But we thought they'd overcome it at least enough to win.
I just
8,
don't
9
understand.
games.
I just don't understand the Keon Coleman thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand how you are not. I'm talking every game.
Yes.
I'm talking every. You force feed the ball.
Throw him the ball
to
20
that guy.
times. Throw Jaden Reed the ball 20 times.
You know what, man? And this is no BS here, man. Putting myself in his shoes. This is me kind of looking around.
Well,
if I'm him.
but he plays for Izzo too, so he's not going anywhere.
He's an incredible player.
Yeah.
He's an incredible player.
He loves Izzo so much that will keep him there.
You could transition him to tight end in the NFL level. Take an Antonio Gates model.
He can play wide receiver.
No, I know he can.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He's
line him up at tight end,
he's such a force.
Yeah.
And
every
look,
Sunday.
Sam Flannel. He was the best player on that field in Michigan Stadium.
He wasn't the best player on the field.
Yes,
he was the best player at Michigan State. What about Blake Corum,
Yes,
Oluwatimi, the center? Come on.
Check back in the NFL draft and let me know.
I think Oluwatimi could go above all of them, honestly. He is the best center in football. College football. He's going to win the Remington Award. You cannot say that a wide receiver, I don't care how the offense is, he's not going to have a 1,000-yard season this year. And you're saying he was the best player on the field in a game where they lost by 22.
If I'm drafting for an NFL, and I have my pick of anybody on that field, I'm taking Keon Coleman.
And that's fair, and I'm taking Oluwatimi. And of course, he was the best player in Michigan State. Of course, I was terrified because he was abusing Michigan's secondary in the first quarter. But in the second half, he did until that last catch kind of turned into Casper the Friendly Ghost. That's fair. I mean, it may have been the game plan, may have been the flaws of the offensive coordinator, but still, he did nothing after the first quarter. I was shocked. Is that on Keon Coleman? I don't know, but that is something. He did quarters second, third, and most of the fourth quarter, nothing. I think he was shut out.
And they had a second defender on him and things. He was double teamed. I know that's the catchphrase. I would have forced it in there anyway. Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat. Forced it in there. Who cares?
Yeah.
Ethan Brown. How is Michigan
going to win?
How is Michigan going to play non-exhibition season when there's only one other team in the Big Ten on their level? They can't join the SEC. Well, they cannot buy out of the Washington game for one. I mean, they could do that.
I mean, that's something that they could control and something that Michigan State and Ohio State, to be fair, did.
What incentive do they have, though, to do that?
None.
Honestly.
That's fair.
And guys, and look,
Neal says it every time.
The second part of this, I want it out there as full disclosure, I wouldn't do it either. Because it doesn't matter. You can get brutalized by Ohio State and beat nobody this year. And your floor is the Rose Bowl right now. You're in the Rose Bowl at a bare minimum. And I know you guys love the Rose Bowl.
The granddaddy of them all.
Yeah. It's funny, though, how the Rose Bowl has become kind of a consolation prize.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Neal. I'm sorry. Why?
Why would you?
Why? Bama scheduling Utah State and whatever, Lawrence. I don't know who the hell they are. But they're probably scheduling Madonna. Who knows? Madonna doesn't even probably have a football team.
Yeah.
I would do it too. What incentive do I have in this version of college football with how we make the playoffs? What incentive do I have? If you tell me that if I lose to Clemson to start the year, and then I lose to Ohio State at the end of the year, and I'm a one-loss Big Ten team, but a two-loss Michigan team, what incentive do I have? I make a New Year's Six Bowl?
Yeah.
What the hell is that? I'd rather be a one-loss team and not play Clemson, and then lose to Ohio State. I'm in the Rose Bowl. And then worse, who knows? You never know. If there are many two-loss teams, maybe I get into the
you get a $10 million check to be in the Rose Bowl.
Once you expand to 12 teams,
you're in.
You're basically. Why the hell am I going to schedule Clemson early? What?
Never.
Why? You're going to go 11-1, and you're going to put me in.
Yeah.
That's it.
You don't have an incentive to schedule a good team on a Michigan roster at all. But you do have an incentive to go into Big Frog and Novi.
Ribbit.
That is a free t-shirt. Because all month long, you can go to Big Frog Novi and get yourself a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. All you got to do is tell them we sent you, and they will print you out one on the spot. That is Big Frog in Novi, or you can visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Glorious.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Do you have a bog project coming up?
Be a pro.
Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Adam Baydoun, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here. You guys, come on. There was an off-air conversation that is not for air under any circumstances, and we'll never talk about it again.
For 2 weeks, he knows a thing or two about uptime now.
Yeah,
He's been
absolutely.
There for 2
He
weeks,
does.
So good for him.
Let's talk to somebody who didn't have any uptime at all last weekend with his picks as we welcome in our guy, Ryan Poulter, the sales manager at Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. We are in the middle of the Feldman Chevrolet Pigskin Pick'em Cup. Explain yourself, Ryan. 0-3 last week.
That is 2 weeks in a row that you've brought me in and degraded me, Neal. We're tied. Listen, if you want to win, you sometimes have to take chances, and I took some chances, and they just didn't pan out.
Ryan, sounds like Dan Campbell to me.
Ryan, I wouldn't say I degraded you. Your picks degraded you on your own part, but no. 0-3, and look, I was 1-2, but I had West Virginia, and TCU is up 6 points or 4 points or whatever, and they go score a touchdown on a pass play with 10 seconds left in the game. So we classify that as a bad beat. It should count as a tie.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
No, you're right. Hey, the scoreboard tells a story. Yep, and you and I are both at the bottom of the heap right now at 10-8. Old Terry Foster, by the way, who in the last 3 weeks is 7-1-1, has sprinted to the top of the standings. He's 12-5-1. Ryan, what are you going to do this weekend to catch him? Where are you leaning?
Listen, I'm leaning 3-0. I'm leaning with the picks that just make sense. Period. They just make sense. So I'm coming back. I'm feeling. We had to let D-Mac feel a little better about himself, Neal, because we've given him so much crap over the course of the last couple of weeks. So we just have to be there, I mean, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. We're gonna come back. Well, I'm gonna come back. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna come back.
All right. Well, how you gonna do it, man? Let everybody know. What do you got?
Well, let me start this off. Listen, I talked about this 2 weeks ago when you guys were here at Feldman Chevrolet Novi in our showroom. I'm going with Tennessee +8 at Georgia. The only reason Tennessee is receiving points here is because the game's at Georgia. Hendon Hooker is an animal, and the Dogs are missing their top pass rusher with Nolan Smith being out for the season. This game will be within a touchdown. Either way, whether it's Georgia winning, Tennessee winning, it's going to be within a touchdown. So, I mean, I think +8's solid and close to a lock. Next, UNC at UVA, University of Georgia, or University of Virginia. Sorry, I'm thinking of the first pick. I'm picking UNC -7.5. Nobody is really paying attention to the 7-1 North Carolina, probably because their defense isn't that good. However, 4-2-1 against the spread and a lousy Virginia offense makes this easy money. Easy money on the table. Next, Clemson at Notre Dame, taking Clemson -3.5. It's hard to bet on Clemson's offense. They're so up and down and extremely unpredictable this season, but their defense is extremely predictable. They're not going to have an issue playing against Notre Dame's one-dimensional offense. Notre Dame has yet to have a 300 passing yard game, and they're averaging just 196 yards in the air. Their defense is also the lowest rated red zone defense, so that bodes well for an offense that's kind of shaky. But Clemson -3.5, period. 3-0, put it on the books right now. Adam, what are your thoughts on those?
I think you go 1-2.
He'll win North Carolina. That Clemson pick is terrifying to me.
Thank you.
Something just doesn't smell right there, Ryan.
I think you lose Clemson. I think you lose North Carolina. I think you win the Tennessee.
Oh, he's going to win North Carolina. Virginia is awful.
North Carolina are worse. I don't trust.
Ryan. Does the Clemson pick scare you? Be honest.
No, not at all. Not one bit. Listen, like I said, you've got a team that is the worst red zone defense and with ratings. Worst, the single worst. You've got an offense that can light it up at any moment with Clemson. I mean, yeah, you're going to quarterback situation's a little iffy, but the backup quarterback didn't look too bad last week when he jumped in. Was it last week when he jumped in? Yeah, even George says he's better than blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, the defense is going to stop a running game. That's all Notre Dame has, is a running game. They can't throw the ball. It's really not that scary when you start looking into stats and where the money's going and everything. It's not that scary.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Wyatt Bear says, yes, Virginia stinks this year. I would know. I like that pick a lot. Virginia stinks. Herman Moore's not walking through that door.
Stinks. Horrible. And North Carolina's 7-1. I mean,
People forget, yeah.
You forget about North Carolina. I mean, their quarterback's playing out of his mind too. But every time you have told me that you're nervous about one of my picks, guess what happens? I have a good weekend, so I'm not worried.
All right. Well, I'm due to be right. What's popping at Feldman Chevrolet out there in Novi, Ryan?
Listen, we were extremely surprised when General Motors came out with the incentives this month. They lit it up, man. We have some great payments right now on Equinox, on Blazers, and we got some on our lot. And General Motors is really pushing. Listen, November and December are the best times to buy a vehicle, period. Always. Right now, payments are $100 cheaper than they were the last couple months. Come on in before our inventory is gone, because it will be gone by the end of this month. Guaranteed. The same thing last year. Come on in, stop by, come see us. You guys are out again Monday. Adam's going to be there early in the morning, screaming in the showroom like he always does, and everyone's laughing at him. But it's going to be fun. So Monday, you guys are there. Hopefully, we get to talk about a Lions win.
Doubt it.
Doubt it.
That's very doubtful, but you know what? We can always hope. There's always hope. Kind of like Spence had hope last week when Michigan was Georgia Michigan State.
That's just not true. I didn't have hope. I knew they were going to lose.
You had a tiny bit of hope.
No,
he had no hope.
No.
He was broken.
Hang on. I gotta say, didn't Spence say if Michigan State covered, he was gonna wear Michigan gear?
No.
No, he never said that.
I said it.
No, I'm 100% sure he did. He said if Michigan State covers, if they hold it within the spread, he is going to wear Michigan gear. And I think we need to go back and listen to. I swear he did.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
I swear you did. I swear you did.
Well, hey, Ryan.
Listen, I'm big.
Ryan, I'll
watch some of these.
All right, Ryan, I'll say this. There is a much better chance that you guys will run out of cars at the end of the month than Clemson beats Notre Dame. There is a much better chance of that. I will say that. So make sure you get.
What are we putting on this?
Oh no, I'm not. You know, I'm not prepared.
On Monday if Clemson beat Notre Dame.
I'm not prepared to take it to the streets. But I got a feeling.
My feet up on the desk. I'm gonna sit there with my feet up on the desk when Clemson beats Notre Dame on Monday.
Okay, well Monday when you come on the show, then you can say, Neal, I told you so. And I'll say, Ryan, you told me so. So how about that? Is that fair?
I'm going to text message tomorrow.
Yeah, I know you will. Ryan, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
Guys,
all right.
Anytime. We'll see you Monday, guys.
Yep. Ryan Palter, sales manager, Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. The Feldman Chevrolet Pigskin Pick'em Cup. Let's get you the rest of the picks as well. DMAC and T-Foss. Who you want to bring up first here? Yeah, DMAC, T-Foss. What do you want to do, Spence?
Terry's been kicking ass, apparently?
Yeah, Terry's been kicking ass.
Yeah, we'll do DMAC. We'll save Terry for last since he's the champ.
All right, DMAC. And this is where in these things you start to see separation.
Why did he take the Lions?
Because DMAC is on Georgia laying the 8. So somebody's going to lose.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
He's taken LSU. Now, DMAC's been the king of the sharp picks.
LSU plus 13 is a good pick.
I'm feeling that one, too. I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't take it.
DMAC's going 1 and 2.
But I didn't take it. Now, the Lions plus 3.5. He keeps going back to this well, and it's costing him.
He talks about his clock, all the time.
Yeah.
Right here. That's the wrong week.
First
Aaron Jones
there it is, right there over your shoulder.
There you go. Look at my clock over here. 24 weeks. Dan Campbell still doesn't know what he's doing, but we're going to pick him anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was those were DMAC's picks. He's at 11-7. He's in second place. T-Foss has been a house on fire. He's going NFL. He likes the New York Jets. He's flying into the teeth of the storm against Buffalo.
12.
He's 12-5-1 though. You can't question the man.
Plus 12's a lot for an NFL
I think Terry
game.
runs 3-0 today.
Yeah.
And he's got the Rams plus the 3. Tom Brady's face could swallow itself at any minute, and he could be out of the game. and then the Rams would win. He's got Illinois minus a 17. I got a feeling about Sparty, and it makes no sense. Not that they'll win. I just do not believe Illinois is not to the point yet where they should be giving 17 to anybody.
From what I've heard of our nameless Spartan insider, the Mel Tucker's reaction after that game, what he was like in the locker room, I wouldn't be surprised if they covered this game, even with the 8 players out.
Yeah, I got a feeling.
Suspended.
Yeah,
I got a feeling about
Jacoby
it.
Windman.
Including Jacoby Windman. That sucks.
I wasn't convinced of this yesterday, but now it's time for me to get the people right. Let's throw my picks up there for it. We are going to get the people right. We are rallying, everybody. I took Texas Tech plus the 9.5 against TCU. Doesn't make a lot of sense. They're going to play. It's going to be like a college basketball game. They're going to play at 80 possessions in this thing. It's going to be wild. I'm here for it. Either you believe in TCU or you don't. And the Michigan fans are telling me no. When I say TCU has a better resume, the Michigan fans are making this pick for me. They say TCU has no part in a discussion with Michigan, that their resume is nowhere near the resume of Michigan. So obviously Texas Tech is the pick. I'm just going by what I'm told.
I didn't say that, for the record.
That's what I was told. The LA Chargers, it's time for Herbert to win a game.
Yeah.
You know what? You got to have it. You want to keep pace in that division? They got to have it. They got to win that football game.
Yes.
They have to. Herbert's a 500 quarterback. Guess what? He's mid, everybody. You are what your record says you are.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
Oh, stop it.
Yes, you are.
81 touchdowns, 29 picks in his career.
Cool story. It's good enough to win a game for every game you lose.
Quarterbacks
cool.
wins are not a quarterback
I know, because the Chargers have no talent.
No. It's situational. It's situational. I'll show you so many games.
I'll say this to Neal's point. You guys point out one game. Justin Herbert said, you know what? Staley, you suck. Keenan Allen, you're a bitch. You're never available. Mike Williams, you just broke your ankle. Come here. Come on daddy's shoulders. I'll win you this football game.
Never.
I've never watched Justin Herbert do it. So to his credit, he may be a bit aggressive, but the truth is, when's Justin Herbert ever said, you know what, no Keenan Allen this week? No
when is he winning the football
game? Hey guys,
game?
watch this. I got you. I'm not going to turn the ball over. I'm going to be responsible this year. I'll throw 2-3 touchdowns against Atlanta. We'll see. I like the pick,
and I'll take it with a field goal and plus with Alabama. The people, it's time to get you right. We're changing character on this one. We're going NFL, the Arizona Cardinals.
I love it.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Don't you get right?
Take it to the streets.
With the points or just money line?
Spence, they're getting, were they getting 1.5?
2.
2 it is up
it's
to?
1.5.
Is it 1.5?
Yeah,
okay.
I've seen it at 1.5.
You can take it. You can take it on the money line if you want to swing the juice or whatever. I'll always take the 1.5 or the 2 points. I'll always take that. Somebody misses an extra point. Guys, this flies counter to everything I'm about. Kyler Murray. I'm hitching my wagons to Kyler Murray, but DeAndre Hopkins is that guy. He's that guy, and the Cardinals have to have. We're getting to that point in the season. These teams got to win these games. The Seahawks have to come back down to earth at some point, right? They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. I'm taking the Cardinals, everybody. So there it is. Get right. Get right. Don't look at the Cardinals. Look at 25-8 for the people.
I understand.
25. Have I ever steered you?
No.
What was your reaction when I said take Army?
I laughed, and I put $100 on it.
And what happened?
I won.
So shut your mouth, take the money, and thank me on Monday.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll do it.
And I'll tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It's about the stigma associated with seeking help when you're struggling a bit mentally. And if you are struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know what, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play as well as private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. As long as you don't understand what you want to just gamble. If you don't want to do that, like with Neal's Get Right, you can get...
You're not gambling.
Any drink you want from one of their multiple fully loaded bars. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
The mystery beer vending machine is kind of the Foaling Warehouse's version of the Get Right. You're not gambling.
Yeah.
You're going to put money in and get a hitter out.
Sure.
Just like you do with the Get Right.
So money line or the -1.5.
Either way.
We make more money on the points.
Yeah.
I don't think that
I'm doing it.
I don't think that the juice is worth foregoing the 1.5 or the 2. It's just in the day and age of missed extra points, I'll always take that 1.5 or that 2. It's just the way that
it's -1.5 though.
They've swung. They've crossed the bridge. Because when I put these picks in yesterday, the Cardinals were on the receiving end.
Oh yeah, it's Cardinals -1.5.
Is it? Okay.
Still take it?
Still taking it.
All right.
I don't like it. I don't love the fact that we crossed the bridge on it. But as people can verify, yesterday when I put these picks in, they were getting the 1.5. Word got out. That's the only explanation. Word of the streets got out.
All right, I placed it.
George, you don't hear George Ribbo on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread complaining. He just says, "Thanks, Neal." You know what, George? You're welcome.
Yeah, well,
if you want to lay up parlay this weekend, take the Cardinals to cover, take Michigan to cover, and take the Packers to cover. Free money. Free money.
That is free money. What's the spread for Michigan Rutgers?
20.
It was probably like 950.
It's a 26 or something like that last I saw. Somewhere around
it's
there.
mid-20s somewhere.
I just hate taking that.
Michigan will not give up more than 10 points to Rutgers. They will not. They will
Didn't
put
they
up
beat them
40
like 78-0
in 2016? Yeah, it was in 2016. I remember that was a very good day for me.
In a heartbeat.
Was that your favorite Michigan Rutgers game?
Oh, absolutely.
What about when they lost to them in the COVID year?
They'll win like 30.
That didn't happen, and that doesn't count.
Okay. Sorry.
What? That was the year, right, that they tapped out of the Ohio State game?
Yeah. And
Okay.
like 3 other games.
Yeah, that's true. they would have gotten it. They were going to their funeral.
I
if
don't
they
blame
played
them.
Ohio
Yeah,
State.
I don't blame them, honestly, for doing that.
Again, I don't blame them either.
The only thing that pisses me off is when they use it in their Ohio State hasn't beaten Michigan in 1,000-something days.
That's weak sauce, though. That is such weak sauce.
It's true, but it's weak.
It is such weak sauce. That 1,048 days. It's
Yeah.
one game. They're on a
Dan
one-game
Campbell
winning
has made
streak.
you feel good for over a year and a half. It is also true that he's 4-19-1.
That is true.
Yep.
Both things can be true.
Yes, he makes you feel good.
Who has more wins on the road as a head coach, Flannel Sam or Dan Campbell?
Equal, buddy.
As the Lions
They're
head
equal.
coach.
You guys are the same.
Congratulations, Flannel.
Thank you.
People giving me problems right now about Justin Herbert and calling me wish-washy on him. And look, I thought that this was the year that he was going to take a step forward, yes. But when information changes, I reserve the right to change my opinion.
He didn't have to take
20 as a starting
That's
quarterback
not
in the
a
NFL.
quarterback stat, Adam. What about the game this year where he threw for 334
That's not a quarterback
yards?
stat. It's the only stat.
No, it's not a quarterback stat. It's a team stat. The Chargers
so
are
the Chargers have no talent, you're telling me?
No, I'm saying it's situational.
Oh, then what is it then? If it's not the talent and it's not the quarterback, then what is it?
Because the talent plays differently every single game. I'll give you an example.
So they're not talented.
In week 2 at Kansas City, Justin Herbert throws 3 touchdowns, 334 yards. They lose 27-24. That's Justin Herbert's fault? Or he went up against a clearly better team with a better quarterback, KC, and
Didn't their kicker miss field goals in that game?
I actually don't remember.
My question would be, how do you throw for that much yardage and only score 24 points?
He threw for 3 touchdowns. That's enough to win. That's not
enough to win in Kansas City. That is not enough to win in Kansas City.
Because Kansas City's better, and you're going to penalize Justin Herbert for that? Come on, Neal.
When, as Adam said, when do you put the squad on your back and go win a game?
He does, and then the defense will give up like 37.
So they don't have talent.
Will make a dumb call. Come on.
So they don't have talent then?
They got talent.
So what is it then?
Derwin James has been out for like more games than he's played since Justin Herbert's been there. Come on.
Look, if I'm honest, again, I'll be the bridge here because I think you're both making fair points, but the reality is
the voice of reason.
Brandon Staley has done, shockingly, Brandon Staley has done less with more. He's done less with more. He's underachieved with LA.
Yes.
To Herbert's credit, last year he had 5 game-winning drives and all this cool stuff. This year they're 4-3, and he has looked completely out of it. I would say in 3 of the 7 games, hell, even 4. To Neal's point, when this is the week on the road at Atlanta. Hey, Brandon. Hey, everybody, come here. I'm going to throw for 350. I'm going to throw 3 touchdowns. Hell, I don't even need 350. 300, 270. I'm not going to turn the ball over, and we're going to go win the game.
But, Adam, let me just push back. What if the Chargers give up like 35 or 38 to Atlanta? That has nothing to do with Justin Herbert. They're separate.
You know, I don't know. This is very reminiscent of Matthew Stafford. He never had enough help. It was the coaching sucked. And you know what? That ended up being true.
Yeah, when do you go put up 41 then? When do you go do that?
To Neal's
When does
point,
Tua freaking do that? Once? You guys...
Do not bring Tua, a man who wins 70% of every game he
4
plays,
touchdowns
into
in
this.
the 4th quarter against Baltimore.
I gave that example. I literally gave that example. I gave him credit.
Did Tua put the team on its back and go win the game?
In 1 4th quarter, absolutely. But did he do that when the defense gave up 10 to Pittsburgh and they scored 16? No, these are team
Did he
wins.
do it when they were down 10 points against the Lions?
Hey, anybody could put up yards and numbers on that Detroit Lions secondary, but I gave him credit for that.
Flannel. When Justin Herbert doesn't turn the ball over, he's 3-1.
Okay.
When he turns the ball over, he's 1-4.
Okay.
Or excuse me, 1-3 this year.
That's fair.
He needs to not turn the ball over. That's it, and they will win.
But are you really calling 81 touchdowns and 29 interceptions in 2.5 years?
No,
mid?
I would disagree with Neal on that. I think Herbert is exceptional, but
Thank you.
He has not stepped up and won you games by himself, and he needs to. Not every week. I'm not asking every week, every 2 weeks for him to go out and just.
It's in those 4 swing games.
But hey, you know what? Last week, for example, Seattle, you lose 37-23. Well, buddy, you threw an interception, and you had a quarterback rating of 84. And the week prior, you won a game thanks to your defense.
You're
literally making my point.
You won 19-16 because of your defense the week prior, and then you won 30-28, 30-24. And you won 24-19. I mean,
okay,
I don't know.
But if it were a 19-16 Miami Dolphins win, Neal, you would give Tua 100% of the credit. You would. You absolutely
all I know
would.
is when Tua plays, he wins 70% of the time. That's all I know.
Okay, and
That's all I know.
They're Dolphins wins. They're Miami
That's
Dolphins
all I know.
wins. They're not.
For some reason with Tua, he wins all the time, even when the Dolphins were mid.
They didn't win all the time. Come on, those were like 500 teams.
7 out of 10 times. 70%.
There's not a GM in the NFL that would take Tua over Justin Herbert if you could draft a team.
Then there's not a GM in the league that would win 70% of the games. He was a GM.
Oh yeah, he would win 70% of the games with the Lions roster. Come on, Neal, you're being so disingenuous. It's crazy.
I can't speak to that.
Because you don't
all
know.
I know is when Tua plays an NFL game, he wins 70% of the time. That's all I know. That's the only data I have.
All those games. How about the one where he threw for 83 yards? That was a big Tua win there. It was a Dolphins win.
All I know is when Tua starts your games, more often than not.
That is so dishonest and weak, Neal. Come
real
on.
quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Dirty South Wolverine. Does Neal want Goff or Herbert because they are both mid, according to him? Well, I would take Herbert because he's a $7 million cap hit.
He's better, too, by like leaps and bounds. Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. The numbers play that out.
He's a below 500 quarterback.
So is Joe Burrow then.
But he went to a Super Bowl.
That's actually very true. But I think they're about similar. Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. It would be a toss-up of who I'd take.
Herbert is an excellent quarterback, but right now he's not doing enough to where he's winning enough football games. He has the talent, he has the weapons, he has the offensive line, I don't want to hear it. This week he won't have 2 wide receivers. Good. Here's a testament to you, buddy. Go figure out how to win. Because you know what? Tua was winning last year throwing to my mother.
And the defense was giving up like 10, 14, 17, 13. It matters.
Because he wasn't turning the ball over.
Devontae Parker's not terrible. He's not terrible. Like, it's not like he had the Lions receiving core from last year.
Somebody tell somebody about Lady Jane's, please.
Yes, that is me this day. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
All right, time to talk about Mike Phillips, not Australian critic and actually former Australian critic A.A. Phillips. Michael Phillips, looking to buy or sell your home, whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 years makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That is 313-403-0011.
Final segment of the week, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. So what was A.A. Phillips a critic of, Sam Flannel?
Was he a food critic or
that? I don't know. Let me do a little...
was he critical of Justin Herbert?
He shouldn't have been. He was probably critical of Tua. He was a writer, critic, and teacher, so probably like literature, something like that.
All right, gotcha. WoodwardSports.com chat thread as you wrap things up. Cobezilla says, it's my favorite time of the day when Sam loses his arguments.
I didn't lose that argument. Come on.
What do you mean, no?
Justin Herbert's not mid.
Jay Thomas, Tua accurate AF. Herbert has a nice arm, but Tua can also run better.
I mean, running, I would say that's a wash. Accuracy, Tua is very accurate, and Tua has taken a step forward this year with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as his weapons and Mike McDaniel as his coach. I think that's helped him out a lot. But Justin Herbert, he's pretty accurate too, and he has a howitzer. You can't throw 30 touchdowns in 2 back-to-back seasons and not be accurate, one of them being 38. Come on.
That's true.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jeremy Anderson asked Neal, can I get a happy birthday from the Golden Voice that will make my day? I'm 35 today. Or have Adam call me an asshole or something. Either way would be cool with me.
Do it in your strip club voice.
All right, you want that?
Yeah.
Do you want the strip club voice there?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Well, we got to send out a happy birthday to Jeremy Anderson. He's 35 years old today. That's right, Jeremy Anderson over there in the VIP right now. And for the next 2 songs, it's $2 Jaeger bombs for everybody. Jeremy Anderson, happy birthday, dog.
Oh, man, that's good.
Yeah?
That is really good, yeah.
So, happy birthday, Jeremy, by the way. Hopefully you get it in. What? Why is that so dead on? I don't know.
Yeah. Some people have a gift.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
Some people are just born with it.
Yeah, people like it. I King Horse, Neal, classic. Love it.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
I mean, hey, I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
It's always there for you.
Who do you like in the Tennessee-Georgia game? It's a seismic game.
Yeah. I like Tennessee, honestly.
Wow.
I'm kind of with Adam on the Stetson Bennett's not going to beat you, but Hendon Hooker will.
Sam Flannel, who do you like, Michigan Rutgers?
Michigan wins, and this week, just to get a little bit analytical, I'm hoping this is the week where they finally maybe let J.J. McCarthy sling it a little bit. It's either they let him sling it...
Not a chance. Why would they let him sling it
I was told they're saving all the good plays for the Ohio State game.
Yeah, for sure. They're not going to let him sling it against Rutgers.
How about this? Will it be 10-7 at some point in this game, like every other Michigan game?
Oh, God, I hope not. Because that's the one thing I always say. I'm very impressed with this team overall. They're 8-0. They're running the football and playing defense. But every single game, it's in peril at halftime. Every single Big Ten game, I'm nervous at halftime. And that's not cool. I want to see Michigan jump out to a good 21-0 lead, maybe early on in the second quarter for once.
It's going to be 21-0 before the end of the first quarter. I would be surprised if J.J. McCarthy sees the field in the second half.
9 Drinks on the WoodwardSports.com chat thread says, "Get me a Jaeger bomb." I remember those days. Those were great days. Mike G says, "Get your loonies and toonies out." Hey, you remember that one, don't you, Spenmo?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
You look like a man that did very well with some loonies and toonies in his hand.
Hey, I have my fair share.
All right. We had our fair share here this week. Appreciate y'all tapping in all week long. For Adam, thanks for Adam for sliding through. For Spencer Raxter and Sam Flannel, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Watch Josh Parisian tomorrow night, ESPN, UFC Fight Night, live in Las Vegas, UFC Apex. He's going to get it in, everybody. Well, see you later.